sucks. It sucks that we have to choose between protecting ourselves and getting our medicine.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another week of HungUpPodLIVE. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Eric, a.k.a. Tennis Bang.
What's up, y'all? And I'm Tony Purnell. I'm your homie. I'm your brother. And I am your friend. And we are your favorite happy hour duo.
Yes, we are. This week, we have John from Black-owned cannabis company Bomaye in the studio with us this week.
Thank y'all for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
What's up, John?
Yeah.
We're super excited to talk to you about that ganja. We're super excited to talk to you about all things black cannabis. Let me be serious, for a second. I
Just
don't
for a
smoke
second.
weed. I eat my weed. So I don't smoke mine, but let's talk about all forms and how you got into this business, but what's up with you?
Look, I'm here. I'm in Philly. I've been here for like 20 years. People still saying I'm not from Philly. I'm like, damn, I've been here long enough. I went to high school here, all that. So I'm from Philly.
Philly taught you. Philly learned you.
My experiences here kind of made me feel obligated to do something about me seeing doctors overprescribe medications. That's why I got into this work.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We got to slow walk this thing. Hold on now. Hold on. You gotta put some lube on it. Don't just put it in. You gotta.
Damn, why you gotta get it?
Now let's talk about this thing. First of all, if you had to introduce yourself, how would you introduce yourself to the people who don't know you?
Okay, I would say hi. I'm John P. Turner. I'm the CEO of Bomaye. Our mission is to protect Black and Spanish people from being locked up and denied employment for cannabis. To that end, we provide medical marijuana card evaluations and job seeker services like resume edits and cover letters.
All right now.
So we have a lot to get into in a short period of time, but because it's about that social impact, but it's also about the resources that you offer, not just the card, but you actually offer some other services that we want to make sure you get out to the people and that they get a chance to hear. Mm-hmm. So you've introduced yourself, boss and CEO of Bomaye. Tell us, let's just start from the beginning. Introduce Bomaye. Well, you already kind of introduced Bomaye to the HungUpPod family. Why are you passionate about this work? Why is it important to you?
So by training, I'm a social worker, and I interact with a lot of doctors on medical floors where people have lost limbs or, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. And the doctors like to prescribe medications because it's faster than people changing their diet and living a healthy lifestyle. So seeing people suffer the effects of different prescription medications, I said, well, there is a herbal remedy for those indicated conditions, those conditions that qualify for a medical marijuana card. So for those conditions such as anxiety, PTSD, MS, kind of like those other conditions, you don't need a prescription medication. For those medical conditions like high cholesterol, high blood pressure, that's a healthy lifestyle. Change your diet, start running, start exercising. You don't need a pill for that. That pill comes with its own side effects.
So I just want to make sure we got that and that the listeners got that you really, the clinician background, you had that. Yeah. And you came into this because you saw a need, not you wanted to make some money, not you saw that the business was up, popping and people were making money and you wanted to capitalize off of it. You really came from this from a clinician perspective where you saw a need that you felt like you could address.
Definitely. And, being a social worker, I went into it for that reason. And, I hold myself obligated that if I see a need, I do something about it if I can.
I honestly think it's important. I mean, something that you already touched on is the activism piece. How it's important to touch the lives of Black and brown people who are affected daily. The criminology aspect of it and reducing aspects of criminal injustice. That spoke to me personally. So for those who don't know, I'm also a clinician. I have my own practice, and I do refer people out for different services. But the bigger piece that means so much to me today is the activism, how we're working to help our people. Definitely. The benefit. Like, I want you to talk about that specifically because you can choose to help anybody.
Yeah.
Why is it Black and brown people? Why is it our people?
Definitely. So I had an experience when I was between the ages of 19 to 21 where I would volunteer down at the Criminal Justice Center.
Okay.
I would sit in on the court trials. All day I would see young black men, not young women, young black men between the ages of 16 and 27 getting real time over weed. And I was like, wow, that could have been me. You know, so that's where our client population came from, because in Philadelphia, we want to serve the population that's within Philadelphia and its surrounding areas, but also we want the providers to look like the people that we serve.
Yes.
So that's important to me, because in hospitals, doctors have these terms and these explanations that people really don't know. They call it health literacy. So people are unable to manage their conditions without medications because they're not given that type of education in the hospital. It's always like, hey, take this prescription, go get this. And then, you know, the long-term effects of that are not even known sometimes. They don't do longitudinal studies on some of these medications.
And sometimes the symptoms and the side effects, they'll subscribe you something else for that.
Exactly.
And it's like a domino effect.
Exactly. And they don't know. It's hit or miss. It's like allergy medicine. You don't know if Benadryl is going to work or Claritin until you take it.
And I am one who has allergies. And I've been trying all of it.
That was a good example there.
I feel you. I'm one who tries it all. I think, you know, hearing about your background and why this work is so important to you, the viewers needed to know that. Yeah. Because, like I said, you could be working with anybody.
Yeah.
You know, do you have personal experience, you know, in the criminal justice, you know, field or background of why? I mean, let me give it a little backstory. Okay. So now we know that marijuana is decriminalized. Whoop-de-doo. Thank y'all so much. But we still have so much more work to do.
For sure.
Do you have any background where it touched you personally? I know you said you volunteered and, you know, anything that hit home for you personally, your family, yourself, anything like that?
Yeah. So first, I was at the criminal justice system because my dad is a defense attorney. He at the time he was dealing with like criminal defense, but now he does capital punishment. So, you know, that's life and the death penalty, basically. Yeah. So that was my experience. It was secondhand experience for me witnessing people get charged with these crimes when these are not bad people.
Yeah.
You know, most people are one paycheck away from doing something that's considered illegal. But people need these illegitimate sources of income to pay their bills. Okay. Yeah.
I've been thinking. I'm sorry.
And I'm sipping on water and y'all got me cracking up.
Well, we didn't clink. Let's clink for this episode.
Let's go. Thank
you for the reminder. Clink.
And while we're clinking, those that are watching, be sure to comment. And if you're not already subscribe to the HungUpPodcast on YouTube and turn those notifications on.
Click that bell. All right.
So, wow, that was a great introduction to your background, your clinician background, your passion for why you do this, what and who Bomaye is. Now let's get into the different services that you offer.
Okay.
You offer the medical card, but you also offer some job services. What can people expect from Bomaye? Go through the list of services.
Definitely. So the services that we market most heavily are the medical marijuana card evaluations and the job seeker.
Evaluations, what does that mean?
So I like to tell people that we provide the evaluation because people come to me and say, well, can you get me a card? And I'm like, it doesn't work like that. You have to qualify for it. So what we provide.
A qualifying medical condition?
Yes.
What do you mean qualified?
Okay. So a qualifying medical condition is a condition that's recognized by the state as being treatable with medical marijuana.
There you go.
By a doctor.
You
will talk to a doctor.
Yes. So you're seen by a physician who is able to prescribe medical marijuana. He has the the correct drug license to be able to do that. And we get the evaluation, we give you the prescription, then you go back on the state website and pay for your card. We get all of that done in a day or two.
And the card is good for?
Card is good for 1 year.
For 1 year. So there's a renewal process.
Yeah, there's a renewal
that people
process.
can expect to go through.
Yes, for sure.
Is it cheaper than an initial fee?
Well, we're running a special right now where people are paying $50 for initial evaluations and renewals. That sale is going to end next Friday. However, if you use the right code from HungUpPodcast for the next week.
Tell it right now. Tell it right now. Speaking to that camera.
If you use the right code for Hung Up Podcast, we'll give you a discount for sure.
All right. What's the code? HungUpPod?
HungUpPod. Let's go.
HungUpPodLIve.
HungUpPodLive. We're going to keep it simple.
So
I'll create the coupon tonight.
So we know where we at and we know who sent you.
Let's go.
Use HungUpPodLive.
To get your discount.
To get your discount
on your card.
Extended period.
So the medical card and what other services? Briefly,
okay. So we provide the medical card evaluations. We provide the job seeker services, resumes, cover letters, careers coaching. We do job search term coaching because a lot of times people miss out on jobs because they're not searching for the right search terms.
Explain that.
So let's say that I'm looking for a social worker position. And other search terms might be care manager or case manager, or, when you don't put in the right search terms, you only see those jobs that are consistent with the words that you're using. So you have no cross kind of like interaction with other jobs that might show up from different keywords. It's all social worker, social worker, social worker. So we provide that training because people should be getting the most that they can get based on their experience. So when we provide these services to people, we're always going for the highest pay. We do the CBD pet treats. We do apparel. This is one of our T-shirts from our line.
What that say?
I like big buds.
And I cannot lie.
I like this T-shirt. I'm gonna have to get me one of these.
Yeah. So we have about 5 or 6 styles, and we are trying to add primary care services now.
I really like that.
So it would be a virtual clinic where we have a provider who helps people manage their medical conditions that don't need that kind of follow-up in-person care, like broken bones and stuff. We don't do that. We're doing things like, hey, we're prescribing something for a manageable condition. Let's say that you have high blood pressure, and we're encouraging
Marijuana
you.
can treat high blood pressure.
No. We're adding primary care services, like as if you needed a primary care doctor, not weed stuff.
Okay.
Not weed stuff, STDs, STI testing, all of that. Giving people a prescription for it if they need to go. Doing blood work where the doctor just looks at the lab work online. So all of it goes back to our mission, right? Because people need to connect to healthcare. So first we get them connected to the herbal remedy, and then as we encourage people to change their diet and their lifestyle, we're also going to say, hey, we can help you manage that condition if you fall short, because a lot of times people have these conditions because they can't or are not compelled to live a healthier lifestyle due to circumstances, stressors, whatever.
Everything that we do has to have a component of how does what you do influence, the queer community? Let's talk about that briefly.
Definitely. Good question. So personally, I volunteer on the board of a nonprofit public health organization called Babashi, and we promote the well-being of Black and Spanish people. And one of those things that we do are provide services to the LGBTQ community. So that's what I do outside of the cannabis industry. Personally, with Bomaye, we do serve the LGBTQ community. We go to the Pride Fest. We go down to the different agencies, community practices. We interact with LGBTQ people all the time. You're just normal people. When we do our expungement clinics, we see people. So we serve the community in a way that we help people from the LGBTQ community get their medical card.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you see a lot of us coming in and getting that medical card?
Definitely.
The people are stressed. The people are stressed. Donald Trump, the Republican nominee again. The people are stressed, and the people are in need, and they're going to be reaching out to you. So again, remind the people real quick where they can find you.
So you can find us on Instagram. That's the closest place. You can find all of our services on there. Bomaye, Bomaye, USA.
Okay. Thank you, John. And so in the pre-interview that we had with you, you mentioned that the medical card does not always save you. Talk about that and what that means.
Definitely. So I would say definitely check with your corporate policy, because just because you have a card does not mean that your job will allow you to work on the premises with THC in your system. So, it goes back to the card might save you outside of work, but at work you might get fired if you have an accident, get drug tested, and they say, well, we don't care. You work in a warehouse, or we don't care you fly an airplane, or we don't care you drive trucks.
Not the airplane.
No, I'm just saying. Like,
Captain, please.
The captain
going
was
down,
high.
right?
Please.
In the sky.
Oh my goodness. Because you know they be drunk. They be drunk. They can be high too. Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
I mean, another question that's on that same playing field, and so a lot of time, I am a registered gun owner. Yes, I have a Glock.
Click Glock.
So I hear people talking
We are
about
in the
usually
city of
one or the
Philadelphia.
other.
Okay.
People usually talking about one or the other. I have a license to carry, but if you got a license, I heard you cannot have a card. Like, that's a big issue as well. Like, why would people be in limbo?
That's a good question, Tony.
Definitely. And it sucks that we have to choose between protecting ourselves and getting our medicine, right? But
the way you just put that, wait, say that again? Wait.
Get the people together. Shake the industry up. Go ahead, John. Stop talking your
Say
shit.
it again. It's a shame.
I hope I can say it the same way again. Let's see.
You got it, bro.
You say it's a shame.
It sucks. It sucks that we have to choose between protecting ourselves and getting our medicine.
Wow.
In that way that we can't have a medical card and have a gun license.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, there's no rhyme or reason. There's no logic to it.
I was going to ask you, is it the federal thing? Because marijuana is still illegal on a federal level. So I'm wondering, is that the connection?
That is the reason. That is the
okay.
reason.
Okay.
Yeah, on the federal level, with the gun license, it's not something that's city specific. Mm-hmm. So if you are, people do this all the time. I tell you not to do it. Don't tell me if you do. But sometimes people get a gun and then don't tell me that they have a gun and they get a card.
Oh,
so I would suggest not doing that.
Y'all don't do a verification or something like that?
There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do.
Okay, so it's kind of
there's no interaction. Yeah, there's no interaction between the systems. I don't know who has a gun.
If they disclose that, if I'm a new customer and I disclose that to you, then you kind of have to deal with it.
Yeah,
you can't ignore it because I've said it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But if I haven't mentioned to you that I own a gun, and I'm a registered gun owner, and then I go and get my medical marijuana card.
Well, there's a conversation. I'm not completely clueless.
Oh,
when people,
you're going to ask.
Yeah, I'm going to ask.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, sometimes people lie, right? I don't know if you're telling me the truth.
Gotcha.
People,
Gotcha.
scheme sometimes, and
People
don't
scheme
put
all the
yourself in
time.
that situation.
Scheming motherfuckers. Scheming motherfuckers. Damn. Well, I think that was a great.
Okay. I enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, talk about Bomaye.
I did very much.
We
Very much
enjoyed
so.
having you here.
That social piece, the advocacy, the
activism.
the clinician perspective to it all. I still think that is the best thing about Bomaye, and also something that sets you apart from all the other cannabis companies. Not only are you offering all these different various types of services, from the resume to, by the way, for the job search, are you looking for jobs that are, weed friendly? What is that job search? Because you offer that as a resource. So I'm just wondering, how does it all work?
So we help people get their card. We coach people to talk to the HR department, talk to the medical review officer, which is the person who looks at your drug test. So, we try to coach people through the process so that they have as much information as they need before they start the job and get fired because they have a positive drug screening. We don't look for specific cannabis friendly jobs, but there are resources out there that we can connect people to if you're interested.
And I think a lot of the myth out there is like when you have a marijuana card, it's just a.
Yeah.
There
are creams, there are oils, there are topicals,
tinctures.
Definitely.
Like, it's so
capsules.
vast.
Absolutely.
It's
because you mentioned you're not a smoker, and a lot of people do not want to smoke because it's a different type of high than if you ingested an edible or did a capsule, or they have, like you said, oils. And what are the different types of ways people can enjoy cannabis, John?
So there's actually, I like to educate people, and there's actually a pill that is covered by insurance. It's called Marinol. It's a synthetic THC pill. So I always tell people that the pharmaceutical industry is going to jump into the cannabis industry, and what they're going to do is start prescribing meds that have THC in there so they can bill people's insurance. So that's the direction of the industry right now.
They want to get that money.
So, being a black-owned business is important to me because, like you said, I care about the work that I do. I don't take any income from the business at all. I never have. I do this for free because I care. When you're talented, like the three of us, your skills will make you money anywhere you go. So I don't really need to get this cannabis work. People just like to hear me talk sometimes. So, yeah, that's what being black in the industry means to me.
Oh, I love it.
Bomaye. Boss.
And CEO.
Fucking okay.
Until next time, this is another episode of HungUpPodLIVE with Eric and Tony.
Yes, thank y'all for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see. And John,
yeah,
thank you for being here. Thank you for blessing the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Check out Bomaye, everybody. Hit us up in the comments. Let y'all know what y'all think about this episode. And if you're already a customer, or if you already have a medical marijuana card, Tony and I would be really interested. Post in the comments what your experience has been like.
Yes.
And we would love to hear from you. Yes.
World peace.
Peace, y'all.